Karina. Thank you for joining me this morning. I'm just going to take a second to tell my people on IG that I am live on YouTube. I couldn't stream on IG this morning. It said the internet connection was poor. So rather than weaving in and out of a connection, I just decided to do my mantras and meditation uh, segment for today on YouTube. And let's see how that works out, because then I might just continue doing it from this platform moving forward. Okay, so while you get ready to get seated in a comfortable position, I'm just gonna send out a short post on Instagram to tell people that I am on here in case somebody is looking for me. All right, so get comfortable, whether you want to lay down because laying down is more comfortable for you, or in a more realistic manner, perhaps laying down is what's easy for you, or you could sit upright in a position like I am, with your legs crossed, back leaning against something soft. So, whatever needs to bring you comfort and security and softness, get into that position. Okay. All right, get into a comfortable position. Dim the lights if you need to. Be with you in just a moment. Perhaps you can move your neck side to side, roll your shoulders, release your fingers, release your toes, release any tension in your body. Do a body scan and see where you might be tense, where you might be holding, where you might be holding tension or anxiety. Release those body parts. What does that feel like when you're holding tension in your body? Sometimes it feels like your shoulders will feel hunched up, and maybe you'll actually be in a position like this. So if your position feel like they're in this position, or they look like they're in this position, if you're looking at yourself, then begin to drop your shoulders in this moment. Begin to drop them. Begin to drop them and just relax. Relax yourself in as much as your body can do. Relax to the extent that your body can do, through the fingers. So it's this is not an exercise to make you feel bad if you can't really drop your shoulders, because that's not physically possible for you. In as much as you can, do what is available for you to do within your body, within the freedom and the limitations that your body affords you. So if laying down is something that is affordable to you, and it's something that supportive to your body, definitely lay down for this mantra and meditation session. If sitting up is doable for you and it's available to you, please definitely sit. If you're sitting in a chair and if your feet are able to touch the ground, definitely scoot forward in your seat and let your feet touch the ground. If you're driving, definitely keep your eyes on the wheel as you soak in the words that are coming out of my mouth this morning. As you begin to observe where your thoughts and feelings are in this moment. Begin to bring attention to your breath. And at this point, as you bring attention to your breath, bringing attention to our breath means we can either hear the sound of us breathing in and out. We can feel our body rising and falling as we're breathing in and out. Take however much breath your body needs. If your body needs big inhales of breath, give your body what it needs. And if it doesn't need that much air to take in, that's okay too. So take in as much air as your body is willing to give you, inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling and exhaling to your own rhythm, to your own comfort level, to your own system, to your own rhythm that your body will flow to. So we breathe in and we breathe out. As we continue to breathe, you might become aware of your surroundings. You might become aware of what is naturally going on around you. Can you hear birds chirping outside? Are your ears tuning into perhaps road noise, the humming of your car if you're driving? We listen without judgment. We take in the sounds. We take in the bodily sensations, the tightness, the tension, whatever we might be feeling. We take it all into account without judgment. With observation, yet we drop the judgment. Bringing your focus to your breath, feeling your body, your stomach, your diaphragm rise with every inhale and drop with every exhale. Listening to the sound of your breath as you take in air. Listening to the exhale sound of your voice. Bringing attention to your breath. As we keep our awareness on our breath, feeling the rise and the fall of our chest as we breathe in and out, hearing the sound of our body taking in the air and expelling it. We bring attention to our feet. On the next inhale, we draw in a deep breath, nice and deep, filling air up into the stomach and the diaphragm. And as we exhale it, we exhale this air out of our feet, picturing roots growing out of our feet. These roots are growing out of our feet, extending into the floor, extending into the ground, penetrating the earth, moving deeper and deeper into Mother Earth. Feel the sensation of your feet. Visualize the roots growing out of your feet. What does that feel like? What do you see? As these roots continue to travel down into Mother Earth, they are met at the core of the earth. They are met with the energizing, powerful, bright light. And so our roots begin to wrap themselves around this giant, energetic, powerful force. Perhaps it's circular in shape, perhaps it's square, it's triangular. Can you feel the power of this energy of Mother Earth? As your roots continue to wrap around this big, powerful, existing force, energy, Mother Earth, feel yourself getting stronger. Feel yourself getting more grounded. Feel this ball, this energy draw out anxiety, tension out of your body through these roots and absorb this tension and anxiety into itself, giving you back power, reinforcing strength, reinforcing groundedness. Feel the surge of the energy in these roots. Feel the surge of the power in these roots. We now begin to see this energy, this powerful energy, travel up our roots. This lit energy is traveling up our roots. Feel its energy as it hits your feet, as the energy wraps itself around your toes, the ball of your feet, your heel. What does that look like to you, and what does it feel like to you? Feel this, feel the warmth of this energy. What does it feel like to you? Is it warm? Is it cold? Is it tantalizing? Feel it work its way up your feet into your ankle. Feel it work its way up your feet to your knees. Feel it make its way from your knees all the way up your upper thighs, upper legs. Feel it working its way through your pelvic area. This sensation might feel warm, it might feel cold. It is an energy of power and strength to fortify you through this day. Feel this energizing power rise through your torso, entering every part of your torso as it has entered every part of your upper legs and your lower limbs, as it continues to make its way up to your shoulder area, loosening up the neck, making its way up to your face, relaxing your jaw, letting go of the tension in the jaw, letting go of the stiffness in the neck, making its way up to the crown of your head, the top of your head, bringing that powerful energy all the way from Mother Earth up your roots, from your feet all the way up to the crown of your head. Breathe in this energy. Breathe in this power. Breathe out tension. Breathe out worry. Breathe out anxieties. Breathe in the power offered to you through Mother Earth's support and guidance. A smile might creep up on your face. You might feel more relaxed in your fingers. As we begin to bring awareness back into the room, holding on to the sensation as much as we can, we open our eyes, we raise our eye gaze, take a deep breath in, and join me back in this live. Welcome back. Thank you. I am honestly feeling energized. This is about one of my favorite guided meditations. I learned it from a wonderful healer named Diani Love. Her Instagram is Diani. Let me see if I could say it right. let's see, yes. Her Instagram is Dhyani Love. That's DHYANI Love. DHYANILOVE. Dhyani Love. You definitely want to follow her. So she calls this the Dhyani Grounded Meditation. This is the Dhyani Love Grounded Meditation. So what I took you through was just really picturing yourself. Rather than going up into the cosmos, we went down to meet Mother Earth. We went down to the Earth's crust, picturing this big bright light and just centering ourselves around that light. Okay. How are you feeling? Once you've completed this, leave a comment in the comment section. How did this Dhyani Love grounded meditation, guided meditation make you feel? How do you feel? Do you feel energized? Do you feel the power of Mother Earth? Dhyani often recommends that we do this type of grounding meditation twice a day, once in the morning and once at night. The whole idea behind doing it twice is to really bring ourselves back into our body. Because sometimes we as humans can have a tendency to either avoid situations or to basically vacate our bodies because of maybe trauma or whatever could be happening in our immediate midst. So going through a guided meditation like the one we just did, the Dhyani guided meditation, really brings us back into our body. And another thing I can offer you is as you come back into your body, life doesn't stop happening, right? Triggers don't stop happening. Life circumstances, difficult circumstances don't stop happening. So if we can begin to slow ourselves down to meet ourselves and to meet every challenge for what it is, and perhaps to really slow ourselves down and just ask for guidance from our ancestors. What's the next right step that I can take in this moment, right? With whatever situation that needs your willpower, needs your strength to solve it. What's the next right step that I can take for myself? And then take those guided steps, right? So this technique helps us come out of those avoidance techniques that we can use sometimes in order to maybe keep us protected from whatever the situation is, but yet we do still need to deal with it because life happens. Okay. I hope that I hope that brings you so much encouragement. So now we're going to go into the next part of our guided meditation. And before we do that, I wanted to read something for you because a young lady that I know that I absolutely adore and love, I'm growing to love her and adore her. She's just absolutely amazing. Asked me about meditation and she said she wasn't sure about meditation. What is it? What's the benefit of it? And so meditation is one way to really bring yourself back into your body. Like I explained earlier. So it's one way to really ground yourself. Stress is a real phenomenon, and we have eustress, which is good stress. It helps us to get things done. But we also have the unproductive stress. So I'm talking about that type of stress that makes you freeze or, causes health issues and if left unchecked. So with that type of stress, to kind of combat it, to counteract it, you can use meditation, right, to really optimize your health. So meditation is all about optimizing bodily health, spiritual health, emotional health. It meets you at every level of yourself. Meditation does. There are many other health benefits. You can definitely Google it for other reasons why you should meditate or why you want to consider meditating. And I want to read you this as well. This is by Adrienne Marie Brown from her book Emergent Strategies about meditation. This is what she says about meditation. My meditation teachers included, I'll read that again. My meditation teachers include, but not limited to, Deanne McLean, Angel Kyoto Williams, Jesse McCo, Viga Frey, Thich Nhat Hanh, may his soul rest in peace, Sam Conway, a spirit named Jai at Kalani. So she lists other people here. A stream of yoga teachers are also her meditation teachers. Okay. So she says, I resisted meditation for so long. I can relate to that. And maybe you might relate to that as well, where maybe you're resisting meditation. I said it just didn't suit my personality, or that I wasn't down to sit, that I couldn't meditate while doing other things, that I could, that that I could meditate while doing other things, active, non meditative things. I was in good company with this, particularly in social justice spaces. Everything we are working on is actually urgent. People are being hurt at every level. People and species are dying. The planet is being damaged. We are not taking we're not making it up. Setting aside time for our work can feel violently selfish. And yet, if we haven't cultivated mindfulness in our attention, how do we expect to break out of the cycle of crisis response? How will we ever put our attention onto solutions, put our attention onto the new practices we need? Meditation was waiting for me around the corner in every room. Grief was a gift that finally let me understand meditation. So meditation has been the same way for me. It has showed up the same way. It's been like a gentle whisper. My ancestors, I think, have been whispering to me for the longest. Even before I knew my ancestors were walking with me, before I knew consciously that they were with me. I mean, it doesn't stop them from still trying to speak to me. And just my guides, and even if not knowing them, I don't think that stopped them from trying to communicate with me. The divine God, Radimaseli, still also trying to just speak to me on a regular basis. I've always had a relationship with Radimaseli, or God, or Nyambe. These are all African names that I'm using. Obviously God is maybe the more popular word that we know. I've always had a relationship with Radimaseli, or God, Nyambe, Olodumare. I've always had a relationship there. It's beginning to evolve now into a more Afrocentric, African-based spiritual setting in my life, and so meditation has always been something at the forefront of my mind. Even when I was a Christian, I still would think about, I should meditate. I should really sit down and meditate. Right? It was always calling out to me. So when I finally began to meditate on a where I really felt the difference was about a few weeks ago, when I was led through a guided meditation by a lady named Juanita at True Yoga Studios here in Rochester, New York. You want to look her up. Go to trueyogastudio.com. Let's see if that's actually the website. True Yoga Studios. Her name is Juanita. She's a yoga instructor, African American yoga instructor, Black yoga instructor. She's definitely amazing. And so, in following her, let's see if I can find the studio name so I can give you the name, and I'll put the link in my bio as well. So she led us through a meditation, and I tell you, I felt myself in myself, and I just knew that meditation had met me. I knew meditation had met me. I knew this is what I needed to do for myself. It felt right. Energetically it felt right. Intuitively it felt right to and it's not that this was the first time I'd ever meditated. I've always, in and out tried meditation, but just never really felt like it was my thing, because just like Adrienne Marie, thinking, hey, I could be doing something else with this time, or letting my thoughts really take off, which will always happen, I think, as we learn to meditate. So it's really not something to fear or something to deter us. But when I sat with Juanita the first time she took us through a meditation, I really felt the connection to meditation. It was a very gentle, welcoming feeling for me. I'm not saying that's what's going to happen for you or is happening for you. You will have your own experience, and you are having your own experience. I'm just sharing my experience. So, yeah, so a curiosity. I was curious about meditation in a different way after being led through this meditation with Juanita. And so I, embarked on this journey of meditating for myself almost on a daily basis. And just loving the feeling of sitting and going inside, or just observing myself, observing my thoughts, and Honestly, when I say meditation met me, it met me. My ancestors met me through meditation. And the thing I think that they brought for me in those first few days when I started to meditate on my own, outside of, after Juanita set the ball rolling for me in such a powerful way, I think the message my ancestors brought to me was Tula. Tula means lay your burdens down. This is from one of my Zambian languages, Tula, right? Tula, Tula. Tula is it's almost like they were encouraging me to lay my burden down, to lay my grief down, right? And so, yeah, I was met with much support from my ancestors, from just the divine, Ludumare. And so I am very, very grateful to Juanita. I'm very grateful to the gentle whispers that have happened over the years. Perhaps you might be experiencing that. Perhaps you've been curious about meditation and you just don't know how to get into it. But you feel maybe a gentle nudging, you feel this gentle whisper. You have this craving for meditation, but you don't know what it is. Coming from a Christian background, definitely there's been that for many years, even though I felt the whispers to meditate, for many years there was a resistance there from me, because I was like, well, based on what I've been taught, meditation is emptying yourself, and then what then enters my body was always my fear, right? And I probably picked up from somewhere that if it's not you, that's if you've emptied of yourself, then what's entering your body could be a foreign entity. And perhaps that line of thinking isn't wrong. um, However, the way I see it, understanding that I have my ancestors, I have my guides, and understanding the purpose, my purpose for meditating is to ground myself, is to tula, to really find ways to let go of the stuff I'm still carrying but shouldn't be carrying right now, like grief or past events that are very difficult for me to let go so I can move on, right? And just meeting myself in meditation, just to tula, to breathe, to surrender, to just be for a second. This is just me. I can just breathe in and breathe out. And that's what's drawing me. And I suppose I can call that rest, feeling rested within myself, feeling rested within myself. It's a growing practice for me. So obviously the language around it is still growing, but it's still growing. No, but I'm just saying, I encourage you, if you're feeling the nudge, to really figure out what your entry point into meditation will be, right? You could go to True Yoga Studios. Let's see, True Yoga. Yes, I'm gonna give you Juanita's name. So go to trueyogarochester.com. That's the name of the website. www.trueyogarochester.com. The teacher's name is Juanita. She's excellent with leading meditations. I don't know if she offers meditations online, or if she has meditation workshops, but she's definitely a really good leader in meditation. And it's also nice to see Black women leading meditation. It's nice to see that, and it's so affirming. And I think I connected with her. Obviously I connected with her perhaps because of the fact that she's, like me, she's a woman and she's Black. um you know and say, for instance, if she was part of the LGBTQ plus community, I would still connect with her, based on the fact that she's, of African descent as well. So, it's not necessarily that she's female, but just that I have a familiarity with the fact that we're both of African descent. And it's nice to see in this meditation space, to see women of African descent leading meditation, is what I'm trying to say. That gives me some form of emotional support and emotional encouragement to really be bold enough to step out and do meditation. And if she can do it, type thing, I can too. I'm encouraged by her. So I hope this provides some encouragement for you. Leave a comment in the comment section. Like, subscribe, share to my YouTube channel. Send this video to somebody that's thinking about meditation or needs to meditate with a woman of African descent. We can grow in this practice together. I'm literally on here because I feel spirit, Olodumare, Nkulunkulu, Nyambe, whatever name we want to use, is really prompting me to be on here. Right? This is part of what I'm called to do, to bring inspiration, to share what I know, to share what I'm learning, just provide space for our women of African descent, especially, to just find a space where they can talk about these African-centered aspects of life, right? To really be curious about meditation and try it for themselves. All right, so we're going to do a card pull from our oracle deck, the African Goddess Rising Oracle deck. Right? I like to show you the picture. The African Goddess Rising Oracle deck. That's what we're reading from. All right, so I'm just going to ask Spirit, Nkulunkulu Olodumare, ancestors, what card does the collective need to hear today? At whatever time and space that they listen to this recording, let this message be accurate and on time for whoever needs to hear this. Just humming anything. All right, let's go with this. Let's see. Oh, wow, amazing. So I just pulled the first card on the top after shuffling, and we drew Queen Sheba. Queen Sheba. Queen Sheba. Look at the beauty. This artist is so talented. They are so talented. Look at the beauty of Queen Sheba. I love this deck because it speaks to me as a woman of African descent. Every single goddess in this deck is of African descent. And so I can see my own power in each one of these cards. Here's Sheba sitting, taking her position with the camel in the background. What do you see? What do you feel energetically the minute that you look at this card? Well, let's find out what message Sheba has for us today. I'm going to read from the guidebook. Okay, I feel singy today. I feel like singing. So Queen Sheba, a little bit of history about her. Queen Sheba is from the temple of, Queen Sheba is the goddess of secrets revealed, right? And she comes out of the Ethiopian spiritual cosmology systems. Her element is fire, right? Her element is fire. If you have the African Goddess Initiation book, you'll know that she comes from the temple of queens. In the Bible, the wealthy queen of Sheba brings a caravan of gifts to King Solomon. The Ethiopian Holy Book reveals that she was their queen, Makeda, and together they sired King Menelik I. So, Queen Sheba's guidance: open your eyes. Secrets are being revealed. It is safe for you to see the truth. Your inner vision is crystal clear. Ooh, I really like this message. So, open your eyes. Secrets are being revealed. It is safe for you to see the truth. Your inner vision is crystal clear. Amazing. I I really appreciate this message. So the embodiment of this guiding message, you don't know you don't know what you don't know. Your creator, ancestors, angels, spirits, and ascended masters are whispering to you. Kind of like how I said there was a gentle nudging about meditation for the longest, right? So I could call that, the whispers of my ancestors of spirits. And I did mention that to say I felt like my ancestors, my guides, and Oludumare were already guiding me into meditation. Interesting. So, what are the whispers happening in your life? How are you being guided? Are you hearing whispers in terms of, hey, you know, go get your cosmology license, or open up that hair shop, open up the juicing business? It doesn't matter that there's a juicing shop on every corner. Um, but if your ancestors are prompting you to do it, perhaps it's because you have something to offer. Every person is unique. Like, there's so many people on YouTube that are talking about African spirituality, leading mantras, meditations, and they're women of African descent. But that hasn't stopped me from actually doing this work. Right now, to be honest, there's zero people on this live, and that's okay. I am responding to the promptings that are in my soul from what I believe are my ancestors and from what I believe is Creator God telling me, hey, get on this live and do this. And so I'm here just being obedient. The right people at the right time are going to watch this. And whatever they need to get from this, they're going to get from it. And even if it's not for them, they might pass it along to someone else who'd be like, oh my gosh, this is what I needed. Right. And so yes, the markets might be saturated with people who do this. It's the very same thing you want to do, but it doesn't need to stop us from actually stepping into that thing anyway, because we are all so unique, right? We're all so unique, and so in our uniqueness we offer a gift with a very unique perspective, and so that perspective that's in you is needed. This is divine intelligence. So I'm going to read that again. You don't know what you don't know. Your creator, ancestors, angels, spirits, and ascended masters are whispering to you. This is divine intelligence. Pay close attention. There are things you do not let yourself see. Allow yourself to be guided. Choose your own path. Remember, we said when we started the meditation, at some point I said, meditation helps us to stop avoiding things. Let me explain how. So when we begin to avoid something, it's because we don't want to see it for what it really is, and so we maybe procrastinate, or we avoid it. We go do something, or we make the thing seem smaller, or we don't engage in that thing because we're hoping it goes away somehow. But most of the time, those situations don't go away. They either get bigger, they get louder, and it just causes us stress and all of those things. So that's part of not allowing ourselves to see. But how meditation helps is that it brings us back into our body. Who we are, our spirit, our soul, brings us back into our body rather than escaping. Rather than escaping to some place in the past or some place in the future, and really drawing those feel good feelings from being in that escape mode. Meditation helps us to kind of come back from that escape space and re-inhabit our body so that we can have, and while we engage in re-inhabiting our body, we come back with so much strength and perspective. But this is when we call upon our ancestors, we call upon God, Creator, our spirit guides, our ascended masters, and we ask for the strength to say, hey, please help me, please strengthen me. You might be Christian and watching this and saying, ascended masters, spirits, ancestors, oh my goodness, what's going on here? So maybe stick with what you know. Stick with the words that help you stay grounded. So if you need to call on the Holy Spirit, you need to call on Jesus, you need to call on El Shaddai, do that, right? Take what you need from this message, and what doesn't work for you, don't take the parts that don't work for you. So I'm not trying to force anyone down the African cosmological systems. I'm just offering some encouragement and hoping that this encouragement can empower people to take what they need and to leave what doesn't work for them. And so when we begin to inhabit our bodies, becoming fully aware of situations, maybe even triggering situations, meditation helps us to give us strength. As the more we practice it, the more strength we gain for ourselves. And part of what we want to do with ourselves is to help us as we continue to do healthy practices like meditation, speaking mantras to ourselves, reading healthy books about emotions and spirituality, and growing in this knowledge, hopefully we get to the point where we can pause because we're learning to meditate and we're meditating. Meditation helps us to pause. So we can pause when things arise that are triggering. We can pause, we can breathe because we've learned how to do this in the morning. We're learning how to do it at night. So during the daytime when things happen, we can go back to our breath. We can go back to our breath. We can pause when something happens. We can breathe. We can re-engage ourselves. And from that place of pause, perhaps we can then see what we're feeling. Oh, I'm feeling I'm feeling upset. I'm feeling scared. I'm feeling anxious. I'm feeling this. We can key into what we're feeling without judging ourselves. We practice all this when we're on the mat in our own space, meditating, so that in the real world, we can really pause. Because meditation is about pausing. So we can pause. Okay, this situation is making me feel like this. So, especially if it's a difficult situation, the tendency can sometimes be to react, right? And usually reaction comes in the form of we're gonna yell at someone. That doesn't mean they don't deserve it sometimes. We're gonna yell at someone. We're gonna maybe storm off, or we're gonna just practice passive aggressive behavior where we shut down. We ignore the person, we ignore the situation, whatever it is, right? So reaction can so meditation can make us aware of how we react to situations. And so in the pause we can see how usually this natural reaction mechanism comes up first. I'm gonna slap this person, or I'm gonna cuss them out. I'm gonna do this. I'm just gonna walk away, or I'm gonna just avoid them, just be quiet, give them the silent treatment. I'm gonna turn my back, whatever. That's usually the first thing. But when we pause long enough and we keep breathing in the situation, we keep breathing. Obviously, you have to stay safe. If it's someone that's trying to hit you, you want to walk away. Let's say you're at work and it's not a situation you can move away from easily, but just going inside and breathing, taking a few deep breaths to recenter, refocus ourselves so that we can maybe give ourselves a chance to actually respond to the situation rather than react. In responding is love. In responding is our strength. In reacting, we lose strength. We give away our power, right? Most of the time, we're giving away our power. But when we are responding, we're actually coming from our seat of power. We're actually giving the ancestors an opportunity to help us to create maybe structure some sentences that we can say to the situation. It doesn't mean the person is going to respond in a peaceful manner. All of a sudden, maybe they're doing what you need them to do. No, but it's about controlling ourselves. It's about changing the way we respond to situations. So maybe less reactionary, more responding to situations. But but where meditation is helpful is that it gives us that exercise to breathe and to pause. So when we're needing to pause in real life because real life situations are happening, we've already practiced how to breathe. We've already practiced how to pause in our meditation sessions. So we can bring that exercise into the real world and breathe. We're learning how to go inside, so we can go inside for a few minutes. We can scan ourselves. How am I feeling right now? What is tense in me? My shoulders are tense. I need to untense them. My hands are going like this. I need to unclench them. My feet are feeling tight. I need to so you do all this as you're in the situation to recenter yourself, to regroup, and to really align with your inner power, right? So rather than just reacting, right? We regroup so that we can respond. And so, because when we develop this ability to respond more than we react, I've had people that have responded to me when I needed them to react, right? Because I'm angry. I just want to fight. I want them to lash back at me as I'm lashing out at them, right? We're all in growing phases. So if you can resonate with that, you're not alone. So, but when I've been met with the response, and the response has been maybe calming, the response is calming, and they stay in that calm state, what happens is I get de-escalated, right? As you stay calm, more than likely the person gets de-escalated, because the energy you're producing is now an energy of calm. It's an energy of love. And most of the time when people are really riled up and they're really upset, they're yelling, what they're really wanting is just to be heard. What we're really wanting when we're really upset, we're really hot and we're saying all these words, we're talking at 100 miles an hour. Usually we just want to be heard. We're really hurting. Underneath that anger, underneath the outburst is hurt, and I need to be heard. I need to be seen. So when we can be in those situations, if we are on the receiving end of someone being very hot and being hurt, when we can ground ourselves rather than going into that, oh no, you're not going to talk to me like that, I'm going to tell you this, I'm going to tell you off back, meet you where you're at. No, maybe we pause, right? We go into that meditative state of pausing, really check ourselves. Wow, these words are really landing in me in a way that I don't like. And I don't like people yelling in our face. We can observe those feelings, right? We observe those thoughts. We observe all of that stuff and give ourselves the opportunity to choose how we're going to respond rather than react to the situation and maybe end up in a fight with somebody, even though maybe they deserve it. But we can't always engage in fistfights or arguments with people, but at some point we have to begin to choose to live in our freedom, in our power, by choosing how we're going to respond to situations, right? And so the more we learn to respond, the more at some point people are going to look and say, wow, you really are a safe space. So, and the reason I say that is because it's happened in my own life where people have responded to me and I felt, wow, after a while, it's like, wow, I really feel calm and I feel safe in their presence. I was able to say what I needed to say at at the intensity I was feeling this thing, and yet this person was very gracious. They didn't meet me at that heightened state. They instead met me at a much higher vibration, which is karma, love, level-headedness. They kept their cool. They kept their center. While I was decentered, they kept their center. And so what that helped to do for me was to recenter me, was for me to rise out of that angry vibration and come into that more calm vibration. And then usually it's like, oh my God, thank you so much for hearing me. Oh no, you're welcome. Wow. Oh my goodness. But usually, if you really notice, it's like your ancestors and yourself are helping you to recalibrate and say, but what if you were to respond like that the next time something happens? What if you were to develop a style or the techniques to, when you feel the rising happening in you and you're able to feel it, oh gosh, I'm gonna say something that I shouldn't say right now. I'm so angry, I want to be seen, I want to be heard. We can observe these thoughts, we can observe them, rightfully so. I mean, if you're of African descent, so much has happened to people of African descent in this world, especially if your descendants came from the enslaved, right? They were victims of human trafficking, right? They were trafficked off of the continent and brought and spread out all over the Americas and the islands and different places like that. There's going to be this inner rage, and especially the more we learn, because we have internet and books are accessible, the more we learn, the more rage we might feel as people of African descent. I grew up on the continent in Africa, but just learning true African history, African descendant history, learning about Black history in America really does trigger so much anger for me as well. So being very honest with that, and so still knowing I have the responsibility to choose to respond, not to always react. Anger can only take me so far. if I'm going to do my activism, I'm going to do my spirituality using the fuel of anger, the sacredness of anger, it's only going to take me so far before um before I begin to experience jaw issues, because my jaw is always still, holding back that word. Maybe, you know, because I'm clenched up in my tummy, I might feel tummy aches later, or an imbalance in my digestive juices, and comes out as gastric issues and things of that nature. So, and I'm not saying those anger is the cause of those things, but I just see how it reacts, how my body reacts to me being angry, right? So, yeah, there is that huge responsibility, individual and collective responsibility, to help us all to move from reaction and move into responding, right? And so I offer that in this space. And that's one reason why I offer meditation, is to help us, maybe help people like myself, help myself, and help other people that may gravitate towards this channel. We offer ourselves the opportunity to maybe begin to respond to situations rather than be very reactionary. I'm an activist, and many of us are activists in many different forms. Many of us, whatever career we've chosen. I'm also a social worker. So these are all, I'm also a therapist. So these are all these are all positions or careers or hats that I wear that sometimes can call for reactivity, but not call, but can trigger reactivity in me. And so I offer you and I welcome you to come on this journey with me, so that we can learn together how to be less reactionary and more responsive to our everyday situations. Less reactionary, more responsive to our everyday situation. And we center ourselves using meditations, using mantras as ways to center ourselves, so that when life really happens, we kind of have practiced how we can slow down, take deep breaths, scan our bodies. So maybe one of the meditations I'll offer at another time is a body scan meditation, a quick body scan meditation, right? I think a few years ago, yes, I think what really, so the seduction of meditation has always been there, right? Meditation has been calling out to me for a while. So I remember being in a group. I remember being in a group setting, and I think we were all in a group because we had like emotional issues going on. And so we had gathered together in a very professional setting to deal with our emotional issues. And one of the things we were taught was body scanning, right? And body isolation techniques. And I'm going to teach that to us. And so that's something I think I think it was a 12-week course. Uh, this is the one technique that I took out of the 12-week course. Talk about taking what you need and leaving the rest. This is the one thing that stuck from me from that training. And everything else, kind of fell to the wayside. But so whatever may stick to you from this life, take it with you. So I will teach that body scan technique because it's so helpful. It has helped me, and I want to share it with you, and hopefully it helps you. And if it doesn't help you, that's okay. Pass it on to someone that it might help. Pass this video on to someone that may need to hear this. Maybe speaking from a particular skin color and a particular gender, yeah, I'm just here to encourage us. I'm here to really encourage us as women of African descent, and to really lend my voice to the collective of women and femmes, LGBTQ plus community of African descent that are in these spaces and speaking. Because I believe that there is going to be a people that will gravitate towards my voice. And even if they don't, they can send it to somebody else that will. However long the ancestors and the creator, Nkulunkulu Lodumare, have me to do this, I will be obedient and do it. I was given a voice for a reason, and I'm in this space for a reason. I hope that this encouraged you. The message from Queen Sheba strengthened you. So she ends with this a few sentences. Allow yourself to be guided. Choose your own path. And the mantra side of this would be, maybe we can make some of these things mantras. I will allow myself to be guided. I will choose my own path. I will allow myself to be guided. You know, the trope, strong black woman. I think a lot of us, some of us these days might be thinking, I don't know if I want to be strong anymore. Maybe I want to be soft. Maybe I want to be, it's okay to be taken care of. It's okay to be supported. It's okay to be seen. It's okay to be heard. It's okay to be guided. It's okay to be helped. It's okay to have others brainstorm with me. It's okay to be seen. It's okay to say I'm not okay, right? Rather than being this strong black woman that's knit up, looks like she's ready for war, but on the inside, she's actually breaking. So I think some of us, on the NAP minister on IG offers us a lot of material on resting in our bodies, in our black bodies. So yeah, I will allow myself to be guided. I would choose my own path, right? Oof, I felt that. Um, the goddess declaration. So the goddess offers us a mantra, and the mantra she offers us is, I am connected to the divine. Oof, I love that. I am connected to the divine. I am connected to the divine. Perhaps you can add your name. I, Serena, I'm connected to the divine. So, three very strong mantras, I believe. I allow myself to be guided. Allow your ancestors to guide you. Allow God, the Holy Spirit, in Kulunkulu or Ludumare to guide you, right? I allow myself to choose my own path. Whew. I am connected to the divine. Amazing. This has been a wonderful time. I'm having fun in this space doing this. I hope it's transmittable that I'm having fun in this space. I hope you're having fun too. Join me next time, most likely tomorrow, for another mantras and meditation. Thank you so much. Like, share, and subscribe. Follow me on my YouTube channel, I Love My Roots, or Serena_Serenity 712 on YouTube, on Instagram, my YouTube channel. Like, share, subscribe. I have a podcast as well called Ubuntu Roots, where we discuss African spirituality. Yes. So yeah, have a wonderful time. Have a wonderful day. Thank you for joining me. I'll see you soon.